Hey now, say now, welcome back to Young and Flourishing Collective, y'all. The collective is a place for people who are cultivating lives that matter to impact their life, generations to come, or just to simply do the will of God. Y'all, I don't know what today's episode is going to look like. I just I don't know. So last week we talked about needing a change of scenery, right? How God will put you in a new place to bring out the potential that you have inside that you didn't know that you had, but you wouldn't have known until he put you in an uncomfortable place for you to grow and develop. So this week, just all this, well, yesterday, right? Yesterday, God was giving me use what you have to get to where you are trying to go. And I'm just like, okay, Lord, because a lot of times we sit and we feel like we have to accumulate things that we don't have just to get started. And we're really in a age where our creativity is minimal, right? So I don't even know what generation my daddy is from. Let me see. He was born in 1953. Hold on, I'm looking it up, y'all. I think this is like post-war era. Okay, so he's a part of the baby boomer generation. People born between 1946 and 1964. Okay, so there's something about that generation. They are so like innovators. Do you get what I'm saying? And then I think the fact, so my daddy, he was kind of low income. So he got this saying where he'd be like, us po boys, we had to make do with what we had. And it's just like a lot of people from that generation, they know how to take what they have and cultivate it into what they need it to be. Like they're not of the mind frame of let me just go out and buy a part. Like they're of the mind frame of let me take what's here and see what I have to go with it, or what can I do with what I have to get to where I'm trying to go. Like my daddy, he's that man, he's really like just a all around engineer. You need him to work on electrical, he got it. Like he went to school in like his 50s, 60s for heating and cooling, and this man had a 4.0. I'm like, if that's not motivation, then I don't know what it is. Okay, but back to what I was saying. Our creativity has become so minimal. So I'm a millennial, right? And by the time I was born, we had dial-up internet, we had cell phones. We were really in that in between stage. Like I know what a cassette tape is, I know what an A track is, and I think that's because how old my daddy is. I know what a VHS is, I know what a DVD is. Like I was there through the evolution of technology becoming like this big thing, and I feel like with technology coming around, it kind of caused a lot of us to become stagnant and lazy. And so now I feel like when we go through these moments of God pulling us from that and us having to start from scratch, it like sends us into this shock, like almost into this like lightweight sense of defeat. When actually, if we change our mindset, if we change our view, right? And we realize that just because thing, whatever it is. So, for instance, I had a friend call me and she's starting a business and she learned of some things that she needed within her business that that's not accessible to her right now. Right. And so, because God gave me the word he gave me yesterday, I was able to like help her. I'm like, okay, what do we have access to now to help us get to where we're trying to go? Right? With my home. If you didn't know, my family and I, we're building our home, creating a homestead. We're currently off grid. So things are literally like nitty gritty, right? We're having to build things from scratch. And so with my home, as a homemaker, the state of my home sometimes puts me in this mindset of survival mode, right? And then it puts me in the mindset of I need to spend XYZ amount of money to get my home to where I want it to be. But through prayer, the Lord has opened my eyes and He has told me, my spirit is in you. You are a creative, right? And that's for somebody that's listening now. Thank you, Lord. The Spirit of God is in you. He is literally a creator. He created the earth. I'm about to cry. He created the earth from nothing. It said, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and it was void. It was without form. So let's look up what the Hebrew definition of form is: to lie waste. It was desolate. It was deserted. It was a worthless thing. It was empty. It was nothing. And so, building this home, with it being bare bones, we're living in it, but it seems like I'm working from nothing. And God literally had to show me, what can you do? What can you get to where you are trying to go? And so I'm like, something that I can do that will really help my home feel like home is to do the walls, right? To put up walls. Like in the kitchen right now, it's just studs. Or to build out our bathroom area, you know? And so I had this thing where I was like, I'm going to build with pallets. I'm going to use pallets. Now, a lot of people look down on pallets, but when you think about it, a pallet normally holds drums. There's usually 4 drums on a pallet. So at my husband's job, they're like 55-gallon drums. But each drum has like, let's see, 55 gallons times 4. That's 220 gallons. And these pallets support the weight of these drums. And so my thing is, if I use these pallets to build walls, they should be completely fine and they should hold up. Now, I remember when we built our bathhouse, because I was like, oh, we're not going to live in this. We're just going to use it so we can have somewhere to shower, use the bathroom, all of that. And I was like, God gave me the idea to do it with pallets. And when I took that idea and ran with it, we literally had a structure on our property and it has not failed us. So I'm here to say, because this is all part of, tapping into that potential that you didn't even know that you had. God's spirit is in us. He's called for us to be creatives. So, whatever problem you may have, whatever mission He has you on, although it seems like what you need is not accessible, what do you have right now to get you there? The same thing with the lady and the prophet Elisha. I believe it was Elisha in First Kings. It was Elijah. Yes, Elijah. And the lady was like, "Me and my son have nothing to eat. We gonna die. Like, what? I need you to do something. I need you to make work a miracle." And he was basically like, "Make me a cake." The lady, so she was able to make him a cake, which means she had what she needed to feed her and her son. But because it wasn't in the form that she wanted it to be, she felt like her and her son were going to starve. So just because things don't look the way that you think that they should look, just because things aren't operating the way that you think they should operate, doesn't mean that you don't have what you need. Even with YouTube, I get to this point where I'm like, I don't I don't have any content. Like I'm not doing anything for me to record. But y'all, I'm literally living life. And that's the thing about content. It's better to be a content creator than an influencer, right? Because when you're a content creator, all you have to do is literally produce. Now, of course, everybody is like, you got to do this and that and the algorithm and all that. But the thing is, when God calls you to create content, He literally just wants you to feed His people with what you already have. So when I make these YouTube videos, it's literally just what I'm doing in my day. And then if it has an encouraging message, it's because it's a message that God has given me. So my thing is when you're creating, when you feel like you don't have what you need, what has God already given you? Sometimes it's just a simple word. It's just a simple promise. I remember when I first started YouTube and I was doing like Bible study devotional messages. And God was just like, no, this is not what I'm calling you to do. He said, your whole life is a testimony. And I'm like, well, Lord, what you mean by that? And he's just like, show people your life. Show people your life. Show people your light. Whatever revelation I give you, share it with the people because people need it. Maybe you're called to sell art and you feel like you need the greatest digital program on the internet. But there's a lot of people who love, and this is nothing against people who do digital art, on a computer, because I probably want to do some myself. But some people already have that talent, that natural talent to draw. Maybe you have that natural talent to draw, and there's a lot of people who love original artwork. That's another thing. You can't fall into the hype. We don't do hype. We don't do trends. You stick to what God has told you to do and everything will work out. I told you I didn't know where this message was going to go. And I kind of feel like I'm all over the place, but I know there's something in here for somebody. And if not for anybody, it's probably just for me. Cuz sometimes you can have revelations and things and it don't hit until you hear it, like until you say it. Life and death is in the tongue. So speak life. Ask yourself out loud, what do I already have? What's here to get me to where I'm trying to go? What do I have access to now? And if you can't think about it, ask God. Lord, show me like you showed Hagar. Hagar thought she was about to die. She thought her and her son, right? So Hagar was Sarah's servant, and Sarah had Abraham sleep with the servant because Sarah couldn't give Abraham a daughter, a child, or so he thought. And so he had her sleep with Hagar. She slept with Hagar. They ended up conceiving a baby, and Sarah ended up getting mad and kicked Hagar out, right? And so while Hagar and her son are walking around in the desert, Hagar's crying because she's like, we have no more water. My son is going to dehydrate and die. And literally, while she's crying, literally, while she's crying, an angel of God called out to her from heaven. And God opened her eyes and she saw a well of water. So sometimes you just have to stop crying, open up your mouth, and ask the Lord, what do I have? And not from a place of defeat, but from a place of, God is a provider. God will, not even He will, but He already has everything that you need. Because He's not going to tell you to go and do something. He's not going to send you somewhere without giving you the provision. But sometimes you have to humble yourself and actually let it be known that you need God. That's another thing. You can't see what you have because you're too dependent on your own understanding. You're too dependent on what you can do instead of humbling yourself and actually depending on God and asking Him what it is that He wants you to do. What has He already given you? But that's all I have for today. Because now I'm sitting over here in deep thought. And I'm going to keep pausing in this podcast because the Lord is over here. He got my brain going, sitting here talking to y'all. But yes, what do you already have that you can use? Use what you have to get to where you are trying to go. Let's spark up that creativity because the Spirit of God is in you. He's a creative, you're a creative. He used His voice to create the earth. Use your voice. I love y'all, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.